If you're a texting teen or someone who's looking for their first touchscreen phone, then you want to take advantage of our Samsung Solstice 2 review. First off, let's talk about price. This phone is available for $30 online with a 2-year AT&T contract, and in some areas it's free with the 2-year contract. So it's very cheap. Also, this phone is tiny. It fits in our pocket a lot easier than these new giant screen smartphones. The phone also has a nice ergonomic swoop design, and it's very lightweight. Now, looking at the outside of the phone, we can see that it has a 3-inch screen with a 240 by 400 pixel resolution, and the screen resolution is okay for gaming and light internet browsing, which is what this phone is for. Now, it has a capacitive touchscreen rather than a resistive, and that's a good thing. Because most phones in this price range are resistive. The Solstice 2 also has a decent set of external controls. It has an enclosed USB terminal, volume control, and it has a sliding lock button, camera button, menu button, and we have those retro end, call, and back buttons. Tangible, and that's a good thing. We miss tangible. But one thing you'll notice is this phone doesn't have a 3.5mm audio jack, and that's pretty bogus. You're going to have to get a USB adapter. Now in the back, when we pry off the back of this phone, we can see that it has a micro SD card slot with a capacity of 16 gigabytes, but you also see the camera, the tiny little camera lens. It's a 2 megapixel camera, and let's just say image quality is best suited for text messaging, and video quality is 320 by 240. But it has some fun effects, it has some fun frames, and mosaic kind of filters. Now, a great thing about the Solstice 2 is that its battery life is fantastic. You could just leave this thing in standby for a few weeks and it'll be fine. This will go like the Energizer Bunny on pixie sticks and crack. Unfortunately, call quality is kind of jumbly. It's really nothing compared to higher quality phones, so that's kind of a trade-off with the battery life. But let's jump into the Solstice 2. We have kind of a simple Samsung touchscreen experience here, and you can see this phone is rife with widgets. Samsung loves the widgets in the lower end touchscreen phones, and this is an example. And because Samsung is so widget happy, we run into a few snafus, and the first of them being, what the hell do we do with all these widgets? We have this little menu bar on the side here, and when we drag them onto the home screen, they can all pile up on top of each other like hop on pop, and then we don't even know where our widgets went because they're cluttered under other widgets, so it's just a widget cluster frick. But otherwise, the Solstice 2 is capable of light internet browsing. We say light because it's all Java, especially gaming. Games are Java too. And for some reason, the games are very expensive compared to the Android market, around $7. And the AT&T App Center, of course, overcharges for ringtones and notification sounds, etc. But the good thing about this phone is that you could load your own ringtones and sounds from your computer because it can mount. The Solstice 2 has 3G, it has Bluetooth, and it also has GPS with telenav maps. Now, rounding out this phone, it has a virtual QWERTY keyboard if you turn it sideways, and a social networking application that combines Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter. Also, we have threaded text messaging. So the Solstice 2 is an optimal touchscreen messaging device. Let's do the pros first. It's small, sleek, can fit in your pocket, great battery life, great for texting. On the downside, our internet experience is exceedingly basic. Call quality leaves a lot to be desired. The camera is just too amateurish outside of text messaging, and the widget cluster frick pileup is a bit daunting at times. But aside from that, if you are looking for a more basic phone, or if this is your first phone, the Samsung Solstice 2 is definitely worth checking out. For InfoSync World, I'm Mike Perlman.